Hello, folks. Just gonna cover some small things. It won't take too long. Um, let's start off with some of these things here. Actually, let's use this for. All right. Let's use this for demonstration purposes. All right. So you can see that there's a new sort of extension toolbar to the already present ones here. So there's move, size, and other. Other is disabled by default, or it's not clickable, I should say. And the only time it actually gets toggled on is if one of the Unity tools are actually being used. So you can kind of tell. Since I can't draw it right next to these tools here, I have to kind of resort to this. So basically, when these are selected, these get deselected. And of course, there's a snap to grid as well. Well, there's move size at the moment. So what exactly is the move? Well, when move is enabled, you get one handle at the bottom left, and it actually depends on the actual component. In this case, for cameras, it's shown here. For when the size tool is enabled, is actually four handles, and they actually let you size the whole thing. There's exceptions to that. In this case, let's say since it's for the cameras and when it has no parent, it's automatically assumes an alignment of bottom left. So the bottom left, and when it's in size mode, you can't. Even though I'm dragging it now, nothing's happening because it's locked into place. And this is for sizing reasons. If you want to size it, you have to actually use one of the other handles. But the thing is, since it's bottom left, you can't change the width and the height. Let's say with this bottom right handle, you can only change the width in this case. The height, if you try to change the height and push it up, and then it would lose the bottom left. It wouldn't be aligned to the bottom, right? So in this case, if I get in a little closer, you see that even though it's one handle, it actually draws sort of a top portion and a left portion, if you want to think of it that way. So it's half of it is disabled for the top, and half of it is enabled for the left. So that basically signifies that you can drag it left to change the width, but you can't drag it up to change the height. And the same thing for the top left. You can change the height, but you can't change the width because it's actually aligned to the left. So trying to change left and right, nothing happens. Just up and down for the height. All right. So that's move and size. Of course, snap to grid is easy to understand. It just goes to whatever value you need it, and it's not. If you have a bad mouse or some whack pointing device, it's going to be difficult to get it exactly to a certain position. That's where the snap comes in. So you can snap it immediately to a set value. It doesn't have to be 5. It could be, 410. No, I don't think so. 10. It could be 10, so it'll jump in increments of 10, and the grid is drawn, you know, 2 lines out, and basically two lines in either direction. And of course, the grid, it doesn't draw over the content area. Same thing for here and here. They all use the same values, and it just draws outside of the content area, the grid at least. Alright, that's great. Let's move on to the next portion. Alright, so let's change to the camera. First camera, which really has content for us to work with. Alright, so in this case, you see that the size, if I say switch to this, zoom in. For this image, when you, it's aligned to the top left, so it's the handle is disabled, and this is for sizing purposes. But the bottom right isn't disabled, and this actually allows us to actually size it appropriately. It snaps the grid of 10. Let's make it 5, just because. Alright. Now if you look at size, I have a minimum and for width and minimum for height. So even though you know, it's a snap to grid of 5, instead of going to some random value, it actually, as soon as you size it up, it'll actually use the grid values. And when you size it down, it doesn't go to 30, it actually goes to 32 because of the minimums here. Yeah, this is just basic stuff though. Alright, and after that, let's move on to some neat stuff. Oh, well, the handles, I'm not sure if I already showed you this, but these handles are actually affecting the margin, the redder ones, and the yellowish ones are for the padding. So in this case, padding doesn't do anything here, but the margin does. So if you look at that where the arrow is pointing, if you drag into that direction where it's pointing, all I'm doing is left clicking and dragging. It's actually increasing the margin. And if you drag in the opposite direction of where the arrow is pointing, it's actually decreasing the margin. That's easy enough, right? Same thing for padding. This will actually increase, and if you drag away from where it's pointing, it'll decrease. Easy peasy, right? Alright, moving on. Alright, now we go to the small changes I added to the game view. But before I do that, let me add something that I've been working on. Let's disable that for just a moment, and we see that we have this information panel. It shows us the position and the actual image that we're actually hovering over. And I went ahead and I added some of these colors to the different states. So when you're hovering over these buttons, they will change color now. And the game isn't running. If you check, it's actually not running. It's still in edit mode, and it's responding to these mouse overs. So if I try to left click, nothing's happening. But if I come here to this option and I tell it to read the game view, the mouse buttons, now when I left click, it'll actually change from hover to press state. Now if I click on this and collapse some of these and just looked at the current active state, you see it actually change. So when I hover and press, it changes. And when I move away, it'll show the focus state because it was the last button that was clicked, or in this case, it's the focus button. So if I click one of the other ones, it'll become the focused one, and so forth. And if I click on any of the other images, it'll steal the focus. So all these are actually not focused. Alright, that's one neat thing. Another interesting thing, let me see if I can move this up and show you. Come on. Ah, who cares? Okay, so now if I hover over this, actually let's pick some other random thing, and then set the focus to the game view, and then hover over here and hit the P on the keyboard. It'll actually ping that particular object, and it'll show it in the hierarchy. Same thing here. If I press P, it'll ping it. And if I see if it's really that, yeah, that's the actual one. And the same thing here. If I ping it, P, and ping, same thing. Alright, so that's a nice thing. I mean, sometimes you just want to know, you know, what exactly the mouse is over. So P, and yeah, that's exactly it. But you know, sometimes you just want to select or focus the actual button without actually going to the scene view, and you wanna do this fairly quickly. So in this case, if you hit the F key while in the game view is focused, and you're over something, then it focuses that particular control, or I should say image in this case. So the background too, the bluish area, yep. Background grayish, the white stuff, the button, F, F, F. So oh, and of course the top right, F. So it'll focus the control for you. In this case, image. So that's about it. Hope you enjoyed that, and I'll catch you some other time. Have a great day. Catch you later. Alrighty, bye bye.